Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Thursday, April 24th edition of our video devotionals. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope your Thursday is well. We've got a wonderful day here in central North Carolina, and temperatures are great, a little breezy, overcast, and a little bit I'm going to be doing some outside gardening work, doing some planting and that sort of thing, so it's a good day to do it. Well, we're going to be in 2 Kings chapter 20 today. We're going to look at verses 1 through 6. If it is your custom to get your Bible, follow along with me if you will. Otherwise, just want to say thank you for all who watch, the acknowledgments, comments, and then, of course, thank you for we've got a new viewer in the last day or two. Thank you for signing up, subscribing, as we say. And if this is a blessing to you, we're glad. If you know of anybody else, let them know, and we appreciate each and every one of you. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into it here. It says in 2 Kings 20, verse 1, it says, "In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amoz, came to him and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto the Lord, saying, I beseech thee, O Lord, remember now how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. And it came to pass, afore Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word of the Lord came to him, saying, Turn again and tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, Thus saith the Lord, the God of David thy father, I have heard thy prayer, I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will heal thee. On the third day thou shalt go up unto the house of the Lord." Now here's our last verse. "And I will add unto thy days 15 years, and I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and I will defend this city for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake." You know, it's a simple and yet profound reminder of the power of prayer. In this particular case, God had told Isaiah the prophet, go tell the king, Hezekiah, that he's going to die. And before Isaiah could even leave the property, then Hezekiah prays to the Lord and tells him that, remember how I've lived for you and how I've done right. And he wept, and before Isaiah could even get gone out of there, as we say, the Lord said, go back and tell Hezekiah, I'm going to heal him, and I'm going to deliver the city, and I'm going to give him 15 years. Now, what a powerful, powerful answer to prayer, and that quickly. So it just goes to show you, now we know that God can answer instantaneously. You know, the Bible tells us regarding salvation, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Now, some say, well, that doesn't mean at that moment. It means people that have already believed that's what God does. Well, you can say it any way you want to. Jeremiah 33:3, there's another prophet, call unto me, and I will answer thee and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. Now, God can do it on his timetable immediately, or God can do it, whenever. But the point is, we know here that when the king received the message, he began to pray, and God answered that prayer very quickly. And so that means we should always pray. Now, God may not answer quickly like that, but we should always pray. We should always tell God. And here's the other thing. When you're living right and doing right, then you know what? You can go to God, because we can go to other people and say, hey, remember when I did this? Remember when I did that? And we honestly could forget things like that. Or someone could say that, and it may not even be true. But I know this. When you go to God and say, God, remember how I've lived for you, remember how I've done right, then God certainly knows that. And obviously God saw his tears, God saw that earnestness, and God answered his prayer. So on this day, number one, pray. We should always pray. We say that a lot, but you know what? You may get some very, very serious news coming to your life personally, or it may come into a family member, a friend, whatever it might be, maybe an urgent prayer request for your church, whatever it might be, and go to God and say, no, God, I'm going to ask you for something, and I want to remind you how I've lived for you. And God certainly knows. And if God and his will chooses to heal or to answer that prayer the way we ask, then so be it. But always pray and always go to God and live in such a life, not so you can get things. You ought to live right just because it's right to do. I understand that. But when you go to God and tell God, God, I'm asking for something, if we've been away from him and we're coming just kind of as a last resort, and sometimes we do it, and after God answers a prayer like that, then we're maybe not as close to him, we're not faithful to him. We don't need to live like that. But I know this, when you're living right, faithful, and doing the right things, and you can go to God for something like this, And isn't it good that God says, I do know your life. And certainly Hezekiah was given some great news there. Well, we're going to stop right there. Hope you have a great day, safe day, healthy day. Lord willing, we'll see you back on Friday. We'll probably be back in, let me just look here just a minute, and I can tell you, more than likely we'll still be in 2 Kings, because it won't be long. Let's see here. We'll be either in 2 Kings, or we'll be in 1 Chronicles. Of course, we're toward the end of this particular book here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, and thank you for watching.